So we're going to play a game called Play, Shelf, or Trade. It is very similar to another game you may know.
What game would that be, Andy?
I'm not going to say it, but it has to.
Ask
I think
your
we all played
parents.
it as kids, maybe, or maybe we didn't. I don't know. But anyway, the point of this game is I'm going to give you some games, and I want to hear which game you would want to play right now, which game you would want to put on your shelf to play later, and which game you're like, I don't need that. I'll trade it. So I'm going to hear from each of you, and I want to hear what your points are and see what you think. I'm going with the theme of the letter E. The letter E.
Okay. This episode brought to you by the letter E.
Brought to you by the letter E. So here are the three games. Ready? Let's go to Chris first, Mr. Old Man Chris. The games are going to be Eclipse,
Okay.
Endeavor, Age of Sail,
Ooh, okay.
and Elysium.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with play Eclipse because I have yet to get it played. I've wanted to play it for a long time. It's just eluded me, unfortunately. I definitely want to play that. It looks, yeah, especially because it's a lot of people say it's a quicker TI, and I've also want to play TI. So either way, I want to play those. Shelf, I guess, Endeavor. I played it recently with Andy last couple months ago, and it was enjoyable. But I want to get it to the table just a tad less than Eclipse. And then, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and trade Elysium.
Have you played Elysium?
I have not. But just those other two, just real hot for those other two. Just like Hanzo. So hot right
before
now.
we get to
now.
mature here, let's move on to John.
Yes, thank you, Andy, for including me in your little game. Let me say
I
that.
meant to go to Daniel first. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, my my play game is gonna be in Denver. In Denver.
In Denver?
In Denver? How do you say that? I can't say it.
Endeavor.
In Denver.
In Denver.
Are you serious?
No, it's not Endeavor. It's Endeavor.
Endeavor. I'm gonna play,
Endeavor.
That's right. All right. It's a game that Andy has actually been bringing out for years, even before the Kickstarter. That's actually one of the old man Andy games that he had, and I wasn't allowed to play it because it was too old. But once I heard some of the reviewers talk about it, I was like, all right, I can play this now. So it feels a little bit more playable. Yeah. Eclipse, I'll put on the shelf. I don't know. These big space opera games, they've never really appealed to me, like TI3, Twilight Imperium 3, for those of you who don't actually know what that is. Chris.
I'm well aware. I'm also aware there's Twilight Imperium 4 now.
Oh, yeah, well, that's a good point. But, okay, anyways. So, yeah, that one's fine. It is a little more Euro-y, so I'm a little... But actually, I prefer Star Trek Ascendancy. That is very similar to...
yes.
No, it's not on the list, but it's...
The worst version of Eclipse.
No, it's a great version because it's the theme. The theme is what matters in those games. They're all the same otherwise. And then the last game is going to be Elysium. I'm going to trade that piece of garbage. I've played that game, I think, just twice now. But each time I was like, it was a roller coaster of emotions. It was like, I love this game. It's great. I have all these choices. Oh, wait, they just took my choice. That's okay. I'll do my second choice. Oh, they just took that. It's okay. I have a third choice. Oh, they just took that. I don't have a choice now. I don't have anything. And it happened time after time after time again. I do not like games that are like, hey, here's all these choices that you get to have. Psych. And then they just take them all back. And I felt like that game did it over and over to me. Done with it. Don't want to play it again. So Elysium, you traded.
All right. And John?
Oh, is it my turn? Okay.
Actually, I'll go first.
First of all, poor choice on 3 games to pick. Let me say that.
Okay, that's -1.
That's number. And Endeavor is by default my play. Not only because it's a great game, which it is. Endeavor Age of Sail is a very good game. And it's on so many levels, not just the gameplay, but also the components, the presentation, everything that Chris hates. It's a really good game. Always had a good time when I played it. I will probably go ahead and shelf Elysium, even more so after what Daniel said. Maybe I don't want to play Elysium, but I like that it's a drafting game, right? Don't
Yeah.
you draft in Elysium? Yeah. Drafting is what, as I said before, I like drafting. Drafting's fun. So I would put Elysium on the shelf. And then Eclipse, I've never been a big fan of the CW or vampires, so I would trade Eclipse.
Oh, you're thinking of
Back to you,
Twilight.
Are you talking about like the CW, like the television network?
Well, you know, with all those vampires and makeup, isn't that what Eclipse is about? Twilight Eclipse or whatever? I heard you. That's
What Twilight Imperium is. It's about shiny vampires.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you my reasoning here, and I appreciate all of you chiming in.
Oh,
I might
you
surprise you with this one because I actually like all three of these games. But as I look at them, the one I would want to play right now is Eclipse. I really like Eclipse. It just doesn't get to the table enough because people insist that it's too long. But that's just not the case. It really isn't that complicated. If I could just get a group that would play it even once a month, I think we'd really like it. But
Maybe because it's 12 years old.
No, it's a great game. The game I'd put on the shelf right now, here's going to surprise you. I'm going to put Elysium on the shelf. I like Elysium. I like Elysium a lot. It's a really good game. I don't know what your problem is, Daniel. I've always enjoyed it. It has engine building. It's got interesting mechanics. The way you place your workers is interesting. It is a game you need to know. I will say that it helps to know the cards, to know what's potentially out there. And some of those games, suffer from that, I guess, if you want to call it that, because we play so many games. It helps to know it well. Endeavor Age of Sail, good game, but the last few times I've played it, honestly, it's kind of been kind of a miss for me. I don't know. So,
that is surprising that's your trade.
Yeah.
So I would trade it right now.
You were trying to get it for forever, weren't you?
I was, and it's a beautiful game. Oh, it's a beautiful game.
Does it have anything to do with the fact that the player boards are warped? I feel like you die a little inside every time you open up that game.
I got the Kickstarter and they were warped, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Oh, this is so beautiful, except for the warp boards." No.
If you enjoyed what you just watched, click on the embedded video for the rest of the episode.